Here are the answers for SPAG quiz number 1 in your revision packs for Easter. If you want to make sure you've already answered the questions, and then you can use this video to check your answers. Okay, read the sentences below. Circle one word in each pair of brackets to complete the sentences using standard English. So he should have been here by now. He should have been here by now. Which of those makes sense? It is should have, so we need to make sure that we circle that one. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know anything about that. If we circled nothing, we'd have a double negative. We have a negative here and a negative here. So the correct one in standard English is anything. Number 2, tick both sentences below that use the word notice as a verb. A verb is an action, so you read each of these and we need to decide which two the word notice is a verb. Did you notice the sign on the door? She put a notice up on the board at school. I handed in my notice at work. It took them a week to notice. Now I know that there is a determiner before a noun. So in this one, I've got a determiner. So notice is not a verb in that sentence, it's a noun. And the determiner in this sentence is my. So I know that that one, it's a noun, not a verb. So I can cross that one off. So the two that I need to tick are this one and this one. Number 3, complete the sentence below by adding suitable determiners. So we just mentioned determiners up here. A determiner comes before a noun and it tells you a little bit more information about them. For example, who they belong to or how many of them there are. So I asked for an ice cream. It needs an N at the end because ice cream begins with a vowel, with a chocolate flake. But the shop was closed. Number 4, underline the main clause in each of the sentences below. So a main clause and a subordinate clause, the difference is the main clause makes sense as itself by a sentence, whereas the subordinate clause doesn't. While Nate is shopping, Lisa takes the dog for a walk. While Nate is shopping, that doesn't make sense by itself. So that is a subordinate clause and this is the main clause. I didn't buy a handbag, although I did see one that I liked. Although I did see one that I liked, that's a subordinate clause because it doesn't make sense as a sentence by itself. I didn't buy a handbag, that does make sense as a sentence by itself, so that is our main clause. Number 5. Rewrite the sentence below as a question. Turn off the television. At the moment, that's a command because it has a bossy imperative verb at the start of it. Rewriting it as a question, we need a capital letter to begin with. Will you turn off the television? I've added a question word at the start. It's got a capital letter and I need a question mark at the end. Any question that makes sense with a capital letter and a question mark would have got you the mark. Number 6. Put a tick in each row to show whether each sentence is in the active or passive voice. One has already been done for you. They were surprised by the response. That's passive because instead of a verb, we have a verb phrase. Were surprised by the response. If that was in the active voice, it would be the response surprised them. I was welcomed by the head teacher. Well, let's underline either the verb or the verb phrase. I was welcomed by the head teacher is passive. If it was active, the head teacher welcomed me. The man juggled with the apples. Let's underline the verb. It's just one word this time. That is active. If it was passive, the apples were juggled by the man. I dragged my suitcase down the street. So underline the verb or verb phrase. It's the verb dragged. If it was passive, my suitcase was dragged down the street. But it's active. Number 7, rewrite the sentence below using the correct punctuation for direct speech. So we need to make sure we've got all the capital letters we need, all the commas we need, all the inverted commas, and any other punctuation inside the inverted commas. Okay, in the SPAG test, it's best to keep your sentence as close as possible to the sentence you were given and just add the punctuation that you need. So I've got a capital letter here. I've got a capital letter to start my dialogue. I've got a comma to separate the synonym for said from the dialogue. I've got inverted commas around the dialogue. And because it's an exclamation, I've added the exclamation mark there inside the inverted commas. If you have got your capital letters here and here, if you've got the comma and the inverted commas, you can have the mark. You don't need to put an exclamation mark, but you do need at least a full stop there before the inverted commas to get the mark. Number 8. Tick the sentence below that uses the past progressive tense. So a good tip for answering these questions is to underline the verb and then try and make a decision about which tense it's in. So here, I will be going to France next week. That is future, so I'm going to jot that here. David is making dinner. That is the present progressive. If it was the past progressive, it would have been David was making dinner, but that's the present progressive. Nadia was walking home. That is the past progressive. It is the past tense of the verb to be followed by the ing form of the verb. Nadia was walking home, so I can tick that one. Just to check the last one, Paul reads a book. Well, that's in the present tense, so that one isn't correct. It's Nadia was walking home. Number 9. Circle the subordinating conjunction and underline the coordinating conjunction in the sentence below. So if you remember, we've talked about this at school. Coordinating conjunctions can be remembered using fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. The swimming pool is busy when it's the summer holidays and you have to queue to get in. So I need to underline the coordinating conjunction. The coordinating conjunction is and. Now the subordinating conjunction, think about which word you could rearrange and put at the start of the sentence if you were writing a sentence using a subordinating conjunction. The answer is when, and we need to circle that. So that is what gets you the mark for that question. Number 10. Read the 2 sentences below. Explain how the use of the comma changes the meaning of the second sentence. Are you going to tell Gareth? Are you going to tell Gareth? Your answer needs to explain that in this first question, you are asking someone if they're going to tell Gareth about something that's happened. In the second question, you are asking Gareth if he is going to tell.